First of all, let me just address the elephant in the room. I mean, this room. As you have surely noticed, I'm not in my usual spot and I'm little under the weather, and I could not discuss the episode 6 of WandaVision last week, but that is not to say that I am not super excited. Hello, namaskar, welcome, swagatam. So today I shall be talking about both episodes 6 and 7 of WandaVision. Once more, there are some spoilers in what I'm about to say, but I'll certainly not be sharing a scene by scene breakdown. Most important thing, I liked episode 6 better. All new Halloween Spooktacular is the best episode in WandaVision so far. Better even than the latest episode 7, Breaking the Fourth Wall, which, as the name suggests, has the 1990s mockumentary style sitcom like The Office or The Prince of Bel-Air. But that is all getting ahead of myself. Let me start with the one gripe I have with episode 6. I mean, CG tears? In this day and age, wouldn't it have been better to just have a drop of water? And trust me, I'm saying this only because this one small drop of transparent salty fluid is the only weird thing in one of the most engaging and suspenseful episode of television ever. So, after multiple viewings, there is only one expression that can be used to explain the phenomenon that is episode 6 of WandaVision. It kept me on the edge of my seat. All new Halloween Spooktacular begins with a television show type intro to WandaVision, accurate to the style of the 80s, and it is Halloween. The spirit of Halloween lends to few of the funniest and the most fan-servicey moments of the series. We see Wanda in her comic book costume, as we see Vision in a laughably poor way. The altercation between Wanda and Vision in the previous episode has its after effects visible in this episode. With the addition of the newest cast member, Evan Peters, at the end of the last episode, the standoff, or rather float off, between Wanda and Vision had been interrupted. But obviously, Vision's questions weren't answered. So he has to try something to find the answers by himself, and that is the main driver of this episode. While Wanda is dealing with her twin and her twins, who have also donned the costumes and hair extensions resembling their comic book counterparts, by the way, Vision is out of Wanda's sight, or Wanda's vision, snooping around in the peripherals of Westview and discovering some uncomfortable secrets. What Vision discovers and how Wanda reacts makes the ending of this episode, for the lack of a better term, haunting. At this point, I must say that barring the first two episodes, which I still feel add next to nothing to the whole narrative of the story, the comedy in the sitcom side of the show always incites nervous laughter. The show leaves no stone unturned to make it clear that a comedy is just a farce. The laughter is just a prelude to tragedy, pain, death, betrayal, and most importantly, suspense. In the fourth episode, there was a glimpse of Vision in his real form, the form we saw in the end of Avengers Infinity War. In a similar blink and you miss it shot, we saw Evan Peters reminding us of Aaron Taylor Johnson, whom we saw at the end of Avengers Age of Ultron.
You didn't see that coming.
I think that is the core strength and unique aspect of WandaVision, which will keep pulling you back for the next episode. Christoph Beck's score is apt and follows the moods of each scene, each emotion, each reveal, and each cliffhanger with a punch. You'll be hard pressed to find flaws in this episode, unless you count the fact that an astrophysicist has convenient powers of hacking into a secure server and extract information relevant to the plot. Hey, this is a comic book based story. Comic book characters are nothing if not supremely multi-talented. Am I right? Also, you and me, we have watched all the MCU movies. We know how the events transpired. There is no way that each minute detail of the conflicts and interactions would be common knowledge, even to a top shield or sword agent. There is no one taking notes or making an after action reports. Is there? How is it then that the characters of Darcy and Jimmy know such details? Details like Wanda was the one of the very few heroes who stood her ground against Thanos and actually couldn't finish him off only because he started rainfire. How would anyone in the MCU know that particular detail? Unless someone was giving a blow by blow commentary. Similarly, it is eerie how Darcy knows the details of Vision's fate in Avengers Infinity War. How Wanda destroyed the Mind Stone and Thanos reversed time and all that. Really, is Uatu the Watcher giving a news bulletin or something? What I mean is, this is a comic book universe. There are bound to be some convenient knowledge sharing and some revolutionary new tech being developed overnight by a hidden aeronautics engineer. Let's move to the 7th episode. Both the episodes 6 and 7 can be divided into two parts. One in the real world and one inside the Hex. That is the hexagonal force field that Wanda has generated around Westview, New Jersey, encapsulating all the inhabitants. Outside, we have the Sword trying to make a sense of what is going on and how to put an end to the Maximoff anomaly. And inside, we are hopping decades in sitcom style with full color and high definition television of the 80s and 90s. But the tonal shift between the ending of episode 6 and the beginning of episode 7 is the most jarring, and there is, wait for it, a true MCU style post-credit scene. We learn about Sword acting director's motivation, which, if you ask me, is the oldest motivation in the MCU book. But let's put that aside. Besides being a cliche, it was also predictable, since we saw how Wanda found Vision in the first place in episode 5. The bigger reveal was Monica Rambeau. In the comics, Monica Rambeau first appeared as the all-new, all-different, all-terrific Captain Marvel. And in the decades of her run in the comics, she has been a major player as a super-powered individual. There is no reason why the character shouldn't have her powers in her MCU appearance. Is there? More details on that will come later with the full spoilers. But at this juncture, even Monica Rambeau's power reveal was dwarfed by the final reveal of the episode of the fan favorite nosy neighbor Agnes. First of all, I didn't see that coming. More importantly, it is uncanny how cunningly the show hid this reveal. In episode 4, when the Sword team started identifying the characters inside Westview, they identified so many people, including Agnes, as they revealed on their board. But they have kept the real name of Agnes a blank. I mean, kudos to Marvel for taking care of such minute details. It makes rewatching and re-rewatching the episodes all the more fun. There is so much new information to be unearthed every time you watch it. For example, in episode 5, Vision mentioned that there were no kids in Westview. Then in episode 6, with all the Halloween fun going on, there are kids visible, and Evan Peters' character actually referenced this clearly. So we have this character, which I won't spoil for you by naming her, but it all certainly appears to be leading towards a convergence. If Agnes, the real Agnes, is behind the Maximoff anomaly, it would even explain Wanda's reality-altering power, which I guess must be sourced from Agnes. The internet, as usual, is abuzz with speculation. Characters like Mephisto, Doctor Strange are still trending as the top contenders to be the one to make sense of WandaVision. Whoever it turns out to be, that will be revealed in the season finale or the penultimate episode. At the moment, however, we are 7 episodes in and there are so many unanswered questions. Adding to this sense of deepening mystery is the fact that with the arrival of Evan Peters in the scene, the universe, the MCU, has officially and visibly expanded. Although there is nothing for certain how the characters depicted in WandaVision are gonna be related to the X-Men or the Fantastic Four for that matter, this is beyond doubt that the things are going to get a lot more confusing before the mysteries clear up and the questions are answered. I just hope they give the mysteries enough room to breathe, to be unraveled with care, and not just cram in all the explanations in one episode. In the beginning of this video, I said I didn't like the latest episode, the episode 7, as much as I did the previous one. The main reason was this: episode 6's zenith was a huge build-up. the expansion. Episode 7 did not yield the expected payoff to that, in my opinion. It carries the story forward, sending Vision into the background. But again, all this is not a judgment of the series as a whole. Whether all this ties up in the end, whether the payoff actually justifies the topsy-turvy roller coaster of a show that is WandaVision, is purely up to the showrunner and purely in the near future. For now, all I can say is I want to watch the next episode ASAP. How did you like the events of these 2 episodes? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll be back next week to discuss the next episode. If you like this video, please do leave a thumbs up and do share it with all your friends. And if you don't like my opinion or simply wish to speak your mind, jump into the comment section. As always, I am looking forward eagerly for your feedback and comments. This is all from my side for today. Until my next video, do subscribe to my channel, The Versatile Doctor, to stay tuned with me, and do click this little bell icon. You have been with Dr. Abhinav Atul, and it is my pride and privilege to be able to connect with you through this video. Namaskar.